ache.
Welcome back, everybody, to another MLB The Show 18 franchise mode here with the Chicago White Sox. Today, we are going to be going against the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be Carlos Rodon versus Alex Reyes. But before we do so, it is May 22nd, and we're going to be making a trade. I already looked at the trade, and I know it's going to be a pre-approved. I already know that it's going to be approved, so I'm going to go ahead and walk it through with you guys. Right now, there is a guy, believe it or not, who is leading the league in both home runs and RBIs, who is basically you never heard of him kind of guy. His name is Scott Schebler. He's got 21 home runs, and he has 42 RBIs, and he's 28 years old. He's got C potential, so he could be a fluke, but in a time where we're missing Nicky Delmonico, we're missing Matt Davidson, a big power bat, we're going to go ahead and make this trade. It's a trade that's going to work out for us, and he's from the Tigers. They're under 500. They're looking to kind of rebuild. They need to get some young prospects, and in return, we are shipping over Ryan Cordell. 26 years old, B potential, 71 overall. Hasn't really panned out to be what we would hope he would be. He's not doing very well in AAA right now. You can see his stats from last year. Nothing shattering, just batting barely over 200. But it's a trade that the Detroit Tigers are going to accept. They understand that, they're not going to win this season. So, why not, try to get a prospect out of it. 28-year-old Scott Schebler, 77 overall. You can see his stats. His durability is very good. His power is very good. His contact is actually pretty good too. He's batting .284, as you guys can see, through 169 at bats, 43 games. And again, arbitration after 2 years. So another reason why we're making this trade is because Luis Robert is going to be sent down. He's not batting well. He's only batting 160. This is going to be good for our club. He needs to be sent down. Right now, being up in the major leagues is hurting him. And the thing is, we couldn't send him down because no one in AAA in the outfield was performing well enough to be called up. So we're going to make this trade today. It's a very low risk trade to me. It's a trade that makes sense. It brings us some power, and we're going to go ahead and make this trade. And the trade has been accepted. So we're going to go ahead. Going to fix the lineup. He'll be playing today. I think we just had an off day. We can say that he flew in early or whatnot, so that way he's in for this game. But otherwise, guys, let's go ahead and start today's game. And one thing I want to point out, guys, before we actually do start this game, is sometimes taking risk on players like this is actually a really good thing. Because today's episode that came out when I'm recording this is the off-season episode. And in that, we decided to keep Yolmer Sanchez over Leury Garcia. In hindsight, Leury Garcia probably should have earned the spot over Yolmer Sanchez. He had a higher batting average, and he was on a really low batting average, which means he was playing very well. But we decided to keep Yolmer Sanchez, and in doing so, in his first 65 at-bats, he's batting .338, driven in 11 runs, 3 home runs. He has done extremely well so far in this 2019 season. So taking risks sometimes is actually a very good thing to do, and that's what we're doing today with Scott Schebler, who we got for the Detroit Tigers. Welcome everybody to St. Louis, Missouri. We're here at Busch Stadium. It is the Chicago White Sox versus the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals coming into this game losing 9 of their last 10 games. They have been on a big losing streak. The White Sox beat them yesterday, and the White Sox are looking to do the same today in a 2-game sweep. Alex Reyes, the big prospect pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, 2-3-9 starts the season with the .377 ERA, so very good for him. The hits per innings is a little high. The strikeouts are excellent. The walks are pretty good. So the White Sox will be facing a very good, young, and very fast-throwing pitcher out on the mound today for the Cardinals. And Adam Eaton is up to bat first, batting .317 on the season. Has been fantastic here for the Chicago White Sox here in the 2019 season. And as always, guys, we're going to show you the first pitch and first at bat on both sides of the ball as Alex Reyes versus Adam Eaton here in the top of the first inning. Ball 1 to Adam Eaton, a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Alex Reyes is a big flamethrower. He throws heat. He's like Michael Kopech. He can get that ball up there to 99 to 100 miles per hour as Adam Eaton's going to pop that one out to left field for out number 1 here in the the top of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning, Carlos Rodon up on the mound for the White Sox. A 4-3 record so far through his first 9 starts. The ERA is up there at 4.72, but the strikeouts per innings pitched is fantastic. The hits are extremely high, so that's got to be brought down. He's excelling in striking batters out, but he is also giving up a lot of hits, and in return, a lot of runs are coming in to score. As Webster is up to the plate for the St. Louis Cardinals here in game number 2 of the series. White Sox looking for the 2-game sweep as Carlos Rodon throws the first pitch. This one's going to be lined out of play on the right side for strike number 1. Majority of the White Sox pitching staff doing extremely well so far this season, minus Carlos Rodon with that ERA in the high 4s. But he has brought it down lately, and he's looking to bring it down again today against the Cardinals. As that pitch is going to be low for a ball. As this pitch is going to get into right field. And that is going to be a base hit, a leadoff hit for the St. Louis Cardinals and for Webster, who gets the first base runner of the day for the St. Louis Cardinals. Scott Schebler walks to the plate. His first plate appearance for the Chicago White Sox here in St. Louis, and he has an opportunity to make his presence. Runners on first and second, nobody out, as Reyes just walked Tim Anderson after a Josh Bell double to right center field, as that pitch is going to be fouled off for strike 1. No outs here in the top of the second in a scoreless game so far, as that is going to be strike 2, swinging at a changeup low. Scott Schebler batting 6th in the batting order today, letting himself get acclimated to the team, and then he'll get moved up probably to the 5th spot as Josh Bell is continuing his struggles, as that is going to be strike 3, but that is going to be a drop third strike. And don't know where Schebler went, but he didn't run. He kind of just disappeared. But otherwise, guys, he's going to strike out on his first at bat, but the runners are going to advance to second, third here with 1 out. Yolmer Sanchez up to bat here with the runners on second and third with 1 out, trying to open up the game here, as that is going to be ball 1 to Yolmer Sanchez. Schebler a little excited, kind of just swinging away, trying to get that big bat going. Yolmer Sanchez trying to pick up a couple RBIs, and he will. He will pick up a couple RBIs. Yolmer Sanchez, realizing what he was doing was not right, and he's going to be picked off. Going for stretching it for a double. Unfortunately, it did not work, but he does bring in 2 runs, and it is now 2-0 Chicago White Sox. Up to the plate, Marcell Ozuna. You can see his stats. He's doing extremely poor so far in May compared to April, as there is a runner on first, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. A strange play, what seemed to be a routine ground out, hit the second base, popped up probably about 30 feet in the air, and it ended up being a single. So runner on first, nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Still 2-0. As that's going to be a high changeup for strike 2 against Ozuna, who's trying to break out of his May slump after a hot April. As that slider is going to be just inside for ball 1. Ozone in St. Louis, as you can see. St. Louis fans excited to have him, hoping he can break out of his slump. That way the St. Louis Cardinals can break out of their slump. But he will not at this bat. That is a strikeout for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Yoan Moncada up to bat here. Top of the third inning, Adam Eaton on first after a 1-out single. As that is going to be strike 1, just catching the bottom of the zone. You can see Yoan Moncada, 282 on the season, 6 homers, 17 driven in, as he is 0 for 1 tonight. as the White Sox have a 2-0 lead here early in the game. Just checking on Adam Eaton, making sure he's not going anywhere, which we'll see if he goes anywhere or not. He might, you never know. As that is going to be a pitch out. Adam Eaton is off. The pitch out is successful. They throw out Adam Eaton at second base for the second out. Yadier Molina, one of the greatest catchers in the game, one of the greatest catchers of all time, making an excellent throw there. The second base right on the money, getting one of the best base stealers in baseball out here at second base. Currently 1-1 the count still to Yoan Moncada though, who's still trying to continue the inning though, with Eloy Jimenez right behind him, a big power bat. Yoan Moncada able to drive in a run himself via the home run, as the count is 1-2 to the star second baseman for the Chicago White Sox. As that changeup or curveball is going to be extremely a good one, as that is going to be out number 3, striking out Yoan Moncada, and we go to the bottom of the third inning. And that, guys, is a solo home run for Tim Anderson. It did not look like it was getting out, and that's why I didn't start recording, but it did, and you're going to get to see the replay. That is a solo shot for Tim Anderson, getting a home run in a year that he has not had the power he had last year. Only his 4th home run so far this season, but nonetheless a solo shot, increasing the score to 3-0 here in the 4th inning. You guys can see that replay. A curveball that stayed up, a 379-foot home run that just got out over the left field fence, and now Scott Schebler is kind of a tongue twister to say, but he's now up to bat, maybe looking for a back-to-back home run, as he is swinging at a pitch way out of the zone. With his strikeout in the 2nd inning, trying to get on the board here, trying to get at least a base hit, as he's going to try to refrain his swinging now rather than swing at anything that just comes past, because Alex Reyes has not had his control today. His speed has also been fluctuating. He's been throwing most fastballs around 94, 95, but in that last bat he had one that got up to 99 miles per hour. That was a good curveball. He's had a couple curveballs that have hung up, as you guys saw with the Tim Anderson home run. His 2 best curveballs of the day have both been against Schebler. The one that struck him out and that one right there. Those were 2 very good curveballs, as that is going to be a curveball that is way outside. The count moves to 2-2. His control has been all over the place today, as Scott Schebler hopes one lays right over the plate for him to take it yard. As that curveball is not going to be the best, but it is going to get Schebler his 2nd strikeout of the day in his White Sox debut. But Tim Anderson taking one deep to left field as the White Sox lead 3-0. Bottom of the 4th, Tommy Pham up to bat, 0 for 1 in today's game. He's batting .301 on the season. A stud for the St. Louis Cardinals. A key piece that the St. Louis Cardinals are trying to play around, build around, hoping to just play better as a team. They're not playing very well right now, losing a lot lately, as that is going to be a fastball that is going to be taken as a strike high, evening the count 1-1. You can see a very full stadium though for St. Louis Cardinals. One of the most dedicated fan bases in all of sports are St. Louis Cardinals fan. Say what you will about them, but they are dedicated fans, as they're cheering here for their team, a team that is a few games under 500, almost 10 games under 500. As that ball, he's going for second. Tommy Pham is going to get a double, stretching a single to a double, his 10th of the season, with another leadoff hit for the St. Louis Cardinals here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Will Myers up to the plate here again in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners on 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. Will Myers, formerly of the San Diego Padres, coming over here to the St. Louis Cardinals, as that is going to be strike 1. Will Myers having a good season himself so far, batting in the 280s. I believe that's what it said when he walked to the plate. A very good right fielder and first baseman, playing right field here for the Cardinals, as the count is quickly 0-2. As that is going to be strike 3. He strikes out chasing a slider outside the zone for out number 3. Carlos Sanchez takes one deep, way back, and it is off the wall, high off the wall. That is going to be 3 bases for Yolmer Sanchez, as that ball is going to get into Yadier Molina. A ball that hits the very top of the wall. I thought it was going. As you can see, that one pretty high, pretty deep, hitting the very top of the fence as a leadoff triple for Yolmer Sanchez. Pitch hitting for the Cardinals is Dexter Fowler. Pitch hitting for the pitcher spot, as that is going to be ball 1. You can see his average so far, 273 this season. No home runs, 2 brought in, as 1-0 to count to Dexter Fowler. As that is going to be a strike, evening up the count. Carlos Rodon laying down a sacrifice bunt, and then a run being driven in later in the inning in the top of the 5th, as it is 4-0 White Sox, as that is going to be another fastball swinging outside by Dexter Fowler. Lots of righties today in the lineup for the Cardinals against the left-handed pitching Carlos Rodon, as that is going to be a slider inside. Count again is even up at 2. Carlos Rodon trying to make quick work in the 5th inning, trying to get his team closer to another win, as that is going to be another strikeout. Striking out Dexter Fowler here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the 2nd out. A mound visit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 out, runners on 1st and 3rd. The score is now 4-1. Carlos Rodon giving up another hit here, as the White Sox are trying to calm down their starting pitcher. Will Myers up to bat for the Cardinals, as that is going to be a fastball high and wide for ball 1. Carlos Rodon issuing a leadoff walk, followed by a double that brought in a run, made it 2nd and 3rd, and then a ground out that made it 1st and 3rd, as that ball is going to be hit way deep. That's going to be pretty deep. That is not going to score, or that is going to score a run. There's no chance really at home. They're going to go ahead and cut that play off, as the score is now 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Scott Schebler up to bat, 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 7th inning. It is 4-2 White Sox. Scott Schebler trying to get his first base hit as a member of the White Sox, coming over from Detroit in via trade, as this one's going to be popped up left side to the 3rd baseman for out number 1, making Schebler 0 for 3 on the day. Jose Martinez up to bat, bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs. It is going to be Carlos Rodon's likely last batter of the game for him. A 1-2 first here in the 7th inning, getting the 1st and 2nd batter out, looking for a 1-2-3 inning. That is going to be ball 1 to Jose Martinez. That is going to be grounded, foul ball to the left side, 1-1 the count. Carlos Rodon trying to get away here with 2-run baseball through 7 innings pitched, as that is going to be ball 2. As we take a quick look, guys, 6 2/3 innings for Rodon. You can see a lot of what has plagued him this season. Strikeouts are very good, 7 strikeouts, but the hits are up there as well with 6 hits. You can see kind of what his struggles have been this season are also being continued in this game, as that is going to be strike 2. Evening up the count, 2-2. Rodon getting tired. You can see, as if this inning is advanced, this is going to become a bullpen game from here. This one's hit to the right side, as they're going to tag him without even looking. They just psychopathically knew he was there, but they got him for out number 3. And now we go to the top of the 8th inning. Blake Rutherford is going to be pitch hitting for the pitcher spot for Carlos Rodon, as he has had an amazing season thus far, being called up, batting in the 300s with a lot of power and a lot of RBIs, as that is going to be ball 1 to Blake Rutherford here in the top of the 8th inning, trying to advance a 4-2 White Sox lead against an NL Central baseball club here, as that is going to be strike 1, swinging at a slider out of the zone. 1-1 the count. 75 degrees here in St. Louis, Missouri, as the wind is blowing from left field to right. Something that favors Blake Rutherford, as that is going to be strike 2. Blake Rutherford trying to avoid going down on strikes here in the 8th inning. Something he has not done a lot this season, as that is going to be ball 2, a slider way outside. Blake Rutherford having good control of his bat, not swinging that, not chasing that. Something that he did prior in the minors and in his first stint as a major leaguer. As that ball is going to be grounded to shortstop. Throw it on over the first, as that is going to be out number 1 here in the 8th inning. Josh Bell up to the plate for the White Sox. He's still been struggling. He got a double today. He's 1 for 3 here in the top of the 9th inning, as that is a wicked curveball. Getting Josh Bell to swing through that one for strike 1. Still 4-2 here, top of the 9th inning. Wade Davis warming up in the bullpen for the White Sox. Expected to come into this game unless the White Sox go on an offensive onslaught, putting this game out of a safe situation. But right now it's 0-2 the count to Josh Bell. Trying to get on base once again for the White Sox, swinging at a pitch extremely high. It looked like it might have been a curveball coming down. Josh Bell swinging way under that one for out number 2 here in the 9th inning. Anton Webster up to the plate, 2 for 4 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. He represents the game-winning run, as that looks a little weird. But 1 out, runners on first and second, a 4-2 game. A Yadier Molina double, and then a error from Tim Anderson on a routine ground ball, as that one's going to be popped straight up to Yohan Moncada. Infield fly rule called. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tying run on first, game-winning run at the plate in the form of Jose Martinez. 3 home runs on the season. So it's going to be definitely a good battle here, as the St. Louis Cardinal fans are all on their feet. You can hear them, as that is going to be ball 1 from Wade Davis. 1-0 the count. Wade Davis trying to not throw anything over the heart of the plate, as that is going to be a curveball in there for strike 1. Castro liking what he sees from his closer there, giving him a little fist bump, chest bump of confidence, as that is going to be a ball outside. 2-1 the count to Webster here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ball 3. Another fastball catching outside. 3-1 the count to Webster, as that ball is going to be hit to Tim Anderson. He's going to take it to first. The throw, that is out number 3, and that is a White Sox victory here and a White Sox sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals. A little bit of drama here at the end of the game with the double from Molina, the error from Tim Anderson, but the White Sox accomplished what they came here, winning 2 games. Schebler didn't have the greatest performance in his first appearance as a member of the Chicago White Sox, going 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. But he has the off day tomorrow, and then we go back into some more gameplay. So the White Sox continue being hot. The Cardinals continue their losing ways here at home. You can see the final box score: 4-9-1 for the White Sox, 2-8-0 for the Cardinals. Rodon gets his 5th win of the season, and Davis gets his league-leading 21st save of the season as well. Alrighty, today's game we're going to be going up against the Texas Rangers at home. It's going to be DeAndre Nottingham on the mound for the White Sox against Patrick Corbin for the Texas Rangers. It's a 4-game series, as you guys can see. We took the first 2 games and we lost them. First game 10-0 and the second game 5-4. So we're going to go ahead and start today's game, hoping to get back on the winning ways, as the Indians are been playing very well of late. They're now sit 3.5 back behind us. They're 29-23. We sit 31-18. Welcome everybody to Guaranteed Rate Field here in Chicago, Illinois. It is the Texas Rangers at 23-29 against the Chicago White Sox at 31-18. Here in Chicago, the White Sox are ready to start hoping to get back on their winning ways today against the Texas Rangers. It is going to be DeAndre Nottingham on the mound for the White Sox, making his 10th start. He's 4-2 on the season, a 3.64 ERA, and 59 and a third inning pitch. He's given up 57 hits, issuing 25 walks while striking out 43. So a pretty solid rookie season for the I think he's actually 20 years old. Delano DeShields Jr. up to bat first for the Texas Rangers. And as always, guys, we're going to show you the first at bat on both sides of the ball. Nottingham trying to put out another solid performance today, as that is going to be ball one, a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. As you saw, Josh Bell over there at first base, trying to get a couple hits today, bring up his batting average and get himself going. You can see it is a little chilly here today in May. 58 degrees, 9-mile-per-hour winds blowing in. Always chilly here in Chicago, Illinois, as the count is 1-1. That is going to be a great curveball. Swinging through is DeShields for strike number 2. White Sox wearing their old-fashioned jerseys here from the 70s, as that is going to be a fall off to the side. Continuing 1-2. Having quite the impressive repertoire of pitches, including that slurve that you just saw right there. DeAndre Nottingham definitely making a name for himself right now, as that ball is going to be hit. Tim Anderson going to throw it on over the first to Josh Bell for out number 1. Bottom of the first inning, as Patrick Corbin is finishing his warm-up pitches. He's making his 11th start of the season, 4-3 on the season, a mid-4 ERA, 62 innings pitched, only 39 strikeouts, and issuing 20 walks while giving up 71 hits. So not the greatest pitcher in the world, but not the worst, as the White Sox try to take advantage. Adam Eaton up to bat, 321 batting average here so far in 2019, as he is trying to get on base, the lead-off hit for the game for the White Sox, as that is going to be a hanging pitch. Fouled off for strike number 1. You can see the fans are here a little bit more now in Chicago. The White Sox playing very well. The fans coming out to attend these games. It is also a weekend game, something MLB The Show 18 does now. It takes into effect team averages, team statistics, what day of the week it is, who they're playing, and that also helps represent how many people are in the crowd, which I think is pretty cool that they did that. Back to the game. It's 0-2 on Adam Eaton here, as that ball is going to be popped, a little blooper to third base. And that's going to be out and number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Scott Schebler is going to be in the lineup today, batting fourth. He was originally going to be out. He hasn't played since his first debut as a member of the White Sox. Adam Engel was scheduled to play. He came to the stadium. He had a little bit of back stiffness, so he had to be taken out. No long-term injury. It seems just going to be a scratch from today's lineup. But Schebler is going to be in for the White Sox, batting fourth in the lineup tonight. So hopefully going to be able to get a hit for him tonight. Ruben Odor up to bat for the Texas Rangers here in the top of the second inning. A scoreless game so far, with 1 out here, as that is going to be a fastball taken high for ball number 1. You can see quite the shift on for Odor. Possibility for a bunt is there down the third base line. White Sox hoping that is not going to happen here, as that is going to be a curveball left high and fouled off to the side, as we get to get a nice look at some people's faces. 1-1 the count, as that is going to be a fastball just over the heart of the plate for strike number 2. You guys can see Nottingham not having the greatest speed on his fastball, topping out about 93, 94 miles per hour, usually around 92, 91. It's his breaking pitches that are very effective getting batters out, as that is going to be a ground ball to Tim Anderson up the middle for out number 2. Scott Schebler making his home debut here as a member of the Chicago White Sox, making his first appearance since his first game as a member of the White Sox here against the Texas Rangers, as he's going to be taking a swing at that outside slider for strike number 1. A beautiful day here in Chicago, a little bit chilly, but nonetheless a beautiful park, a beautiful stadium, a beautiful city, as that ball is going to be hit down the line to the first baseman. And that is going to be out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Schebler unable to get his first hit so far as a member of the White Sox. Jake Burger up to bat, 0 for 8 in the series with 3 strikeouts, but batting .327 on the season. He has Blake Rutherford there on second base after a leadoff double here in the bottom of the third inning. Still scoreless, but Jake Burger trying to change that here. Nobody out. That ball's going to be hit pretty deep. That ball is just going to be just shy of the track. That's going to be able to move Blake Rutherford over to third base here with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning as Omar Narvaez walks to the plate, batting .293 on the season. And we talked about it before, guys, decisions, making risk and whatnot. We decided not to go get another catcher via trade, a left-handed catcher, and Narvaez has been batting almost at .300 this season, so another risk that has paid off for the White Sox. However, not here, as that is going to be popped up right behind the plate for out number 2, bringing Adam Eaton to the plate, who popped out in the first inning. Still batting way over .300 so far in the 2019 season. Definitely one of the White Sox best players thus far. Trying to bring in the first run of the game for the White Sox with a base hit here, as that ball is going to get home. He's running home, and he is going to be safe. A wild pitch is going to bring Blake Rutherford on home as the White Sox now lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. You can see that ball again right between the catcher's legs. Probably more likely much of a passed ball than a wild pitch, but nevertheless 1-0 Chicago White Sox here in the bottom of the third inning. Adam Eaton, 1-0 the count to him. That ball's going to be hit to the second baseman, Odor, who's going to throw it on over the first for out number 3. Elvis Andrus up to the plate, walked in his first plate appearance in this game. A runner on first, nobody out, a leadoff single to start off the inning. Definitely a guy with some speed there on base, as that one's going to be fouled off towards the Rangers dugout for strike number 1. As he's taken off a curveball, most likely, yeah, without a doubt, going to steal that base. A big curveball. Nottingham not having a bunch of speed, Navarro's not being the best catcher on his arm and throwing out runners, so that is going to be an easy stolen base there for the Rangers. 1-1 the count to Elvis Andrus, as that ball is going to be lined to first baseman Josh Bell, who's not going to be able to get the ball over to second base quick enough, but nonetheless getting the first out in the inning. Yohan Moncada up to bat for the White Sox, 0 for 1 tonight in a now 3-1 ball game here in the bottom of the fourth inning. A ball getting past Schebler in right, bringing in a couple runs, as that ball is going to be hit down the line off the tarp for strike number 1. Rangers making a little bit of a comeback there in the fourth inning, scoring 3, but nothing the White Sox can't come back from, as that is going to be a changeup. Very low, but Yohan Moncada swinging through it for strike number 2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. As that ball again swinging just a tad bit early, a ball left over the plate by Patrick Corbin is going to be fouled off for strike number 2, continuing. As that is going to be a slider, losing a little bit of control on that one. Very high for ball 1. Yohan Moncada not swinging at that. But he is going to swing at that one that was just brought down just a little bit. Still out of the zone, but nonetheless strike 3. A strikeout for Yohan Moncada. As you can see, Road to the Show report. You can see some of the Texas Rangers, their minor league system, and how they have been doing. Up to the plate now, Aguilar, Jesus Aguilar, 1 for 2 tonight, as the score is now 5-1 Rangers. A lot of miscommunications by Adam Eaton center and Schebler in right, as that ball is going to hop in as well for a base hit, a single, as they were playing extremely deep. Couple balls falling in the outfield that should have been caught. They weren't charged as errors, they were charged as hits, so they are going to be earned runs to Nottingham. A lot of miscommunication. There's been 3 instances tonight alone where Schebler and Adam Eaton did not communicate correctly, and a ball dropped in the outfield, which is now resulting in a 5-1 score, as Nomar Mazara is up to plate here in the top of the 5th inning in a 5-1 game. Very frustrating if you're a White Sox fan here at the stadium tonight, as the White Sox, they acquire this guy. Hasn't gotten a hit yet. You know, he's only had one at bat tonight, and he's had one game prior to that. So, I mean, that's a small sample size, as he's going to be running back on this one. This one's carrying out, but he's going to get underneath it for out number 3. You guys can see the box score thus far: 5-6-0 for the Rangers, 1-1-0 for the White Sox, getting one lone hit in the game thus far, as Tim Anderson walks to the plate. 269 on the season, 0 for 1 tonight. As the White Sox trying to get something going against Patrick Corbin, they have not been able to get anything going. As that ball is going to be hit to the third baseman, they're going to throw it on over there to first for out number 2. Jurickson Profar up to bat here for the Texas Rangers in the top of the 6th inning. Nottingham trying to get his first 1-2-3 inning of the night, as that is going to be a fastball taken low for ball 1. You can see Profar pretty far off the plate for the left-handed batter, as that is going to be a changeup taken outside for ball number 2. Nottingham not having the greatest of control tonight, as that ball is hit way back. Schebler is going to look up, as that ball is going to get out of here. It is now 6-1 as Jurickson Profar takes a ball deep. The crowd chanting overrated earlier in his 2 prior at-bats, as he now takes this one deep, extending the score for the Texas Rangers to now 6-1. The Texas Rangers manager very happy to see that, as Profar was batting .231 on the season. Not the results that the Rangers want to see for their most valued prospect and player, as he does take this one deep, 370 feet, as that ball looks like it is a golf ball going way out there for a home run, extending the score. Yohan Moncada back up to bat here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Omar Narvaez on second, as he got the second White Sox hit of the game, a single to right field, as Yohan Moncada is trying to bring in the second run of the game for the White Sox, or possibly the third, as that again is a strike, swinging at a pitch way out of the zone. It did look like it was going to tail in as a breaking pitch, but it didn't. And Yohan Moncada looking a little foolish, as that one's going to be a little dribbler. That's going to fall in. That is going to score a run, as it is now 6-2 Texas Rangers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yohan Moncada getting a base hit. Elvis Andrus back up to bat. Zach Duke in pitching. A single there with 1 out, with a runner on first base now. 1 out, top of the 7th inning, 6-2 Texas Rangers. White Sox trying to get out of the inning without any more damage being done, as that ball is going to be hit to Yohan Moncada, unable to get to second with it. So no double play, but they are going to get the out at first here with 2 outs now. Josh Bell up to bat, 195 batting average on the season. 0 for 2 tonight, as that is going to be ball 1, a fastball outside. Patrick Corbin continuing the roll. Only 54 pitches thrown through 6 1/3 innings pitched, so being very efficient thus far. White Sox trying to get some base runners on to get some runs coming in, as that ball is going to be hit deep. Center field is going to be going back on that. That ball is out of here. A solo home run from Josh Bell. Maybe that is going to be the hit that gets him going, gets him turned around, making the score 6-3, putting the White Sox within 3 runs of tying up the game. A big hit there for Josh Bell. Solo shot, but nonetheless getting the White Sox back in the game, getting a little bit of energy into the crowd, back into the bench, getting the White Sox back into this game, both in the score and mentally. As you guys can see, that ball being taken opposite field, a little bit of a late swing, and that's why I went to the right field side, if those of you who don't understand physics. Sean Doolittle in to pitch for the Rangers. Naturally a closer, coming in here in the 8th inning. 2.70 ERA. He's a guy that we were possibly going to sign in the offseason, and we didn't. And he's going to be going up against Jake Berger here in the bottom of the 8th inning. White Sox needing to get some runners on, and they need to do it now if they want to make a comeback. They only got 2 innings left to do so. Jake Berger hoping to start that off right now against Sean Doolittle. That little dribbler right in front of the plate. Gonna throw it on over the first for out number 1. Chris Wilson in to pitch. It's gonna be his 21st appearance of the season. He's a 2-2 record, a 1.31 ERA in 20 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has 14 strikeouts. He's gonna be going up against Jurickson Profar. Last time he was up, he took a solo shot to right field, as that is going to be a sinker high for ball 1. Here in the top of the 9th inning, still 6-3. White Sox trying to get out of the 9th inning without giving up another run, trying to keep the deficit within 3, trying to make a comeback. As that ball is going to be hit to deep center. Adam Eaton moving back, getting underneath it for out number 1. Alright guys, we are down to our last out, and it is Scott Schebler up to bat. Or Schebler, that's how the announcer is pronouncing his last name, Schebler. I'll try to remember that. Still 6-3, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. I have been unable to hit this guy. It's Alex Claudio out on the mound. His speed is so slow, and his windup and everything is so funky. I haven't been able to make contact on a single pitch. And now I have Scott Schebler up to bat for the White Sox, and we're trying to get the inning to be extended, as that one is going to be grounded to third. And that is going to be the ball game, guys. It is going to be a 6-3 loss against the Texas Rangers. Another split episode, taking game 1 and losing game 2. But it was a hard game. It was, the Texas Rangers are a good team. They got a lot of good pieces. Their record might not show it, but they do have some good pieces on their team, and today they were better than we were. So that is going to do it, guys, for this episode. We're going to pick it up next episode with some more games. We're going to do 2 more games, and by then we should be getting towards the draft and the All-Star game, and we're going to be moving towards all that kind of fun stuff. So the final box score here in Chicago is going to be 6-8-0 for the Rangers, 3-4-0 for the White Sox. Corbin getting the win, Nottingham getting his 3rd loss of the season. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and we will see you next episode.